What Hamas did demonstrates that Israel cannot live with it. And the result is, and by the way, this is not the view of a narrow slice of Israel. This is left to right. This is a broad consensus. What Hamas did demonstrates Israel cannot live with it because it will do it again. And what Israelis saw was something unthinkable. Hamas basically revealed itself to be ISIS. Who goes in and just the first thing they did is they go straight to this rave party in the desert, and all they do is kill everybody there, and there's no military there. This is ISIS-like behavior. So, from an Israeli standpoint, they now have ISIS or Al Qaeda next to them. I don't rule out even reoccupying for a period of time, reoccupying and then inviting an international presence to come in, create an interim administration, and the like. But they're going to, at a minimum, they're going to decapitate and try to destroy Hamas's bomb-making, rocket-making, military capabilities. And that, yes, there's no way to avoid that. All of Hamas leaders are deep underground. They like to deploy themselves under mosques, under hospitals, in tunnels that are all booby-trapped, in the densest populated areas, as a way, again, of ensuring that Israel has to kill large numbers of Palestinians. They want to stigmatize Israel. They want to create pressures from the outside to stop Israel. But they crossed a line. If they look like they have won this great victory, the imagery throughout the region will be we who oppose that kind of behavior are now in the defensive. There'll be worries about the reaction of the Arab street saying, well, that's the way to deal with Israel, not to coexist, not to negotiate with it. So, whatever the Palestinian Authority says publicly and Arab states say publicly about let's stop this, let's stop the killing, no more innocents, all that will be said, and privately, no one will want the Hamas to emerge victorious because it means all those who threaten them have gained great leverage throughout the region. For those who think we should withdraw, you're basically playing into the hands of Iran, Hamas, and Hezbollah. And so I think the administration certainly will have to take that into account. It's not that they didn't view them as a threat, but look, much like Israel, it thought some of this threat you could manage, and now it's going to see that some of this threat is not manageable without really having to deal directly with it. And I don't rule out the possibility there'll be an all-out war, although Hezbollah was counting on divisions in Israel, and I think they've seen what they were thinking about Israel in terms of divisions is no longer the case. So that may also temper their interest in all-out war. And as I said, Iran may have an interest in keeping Hezbollah in reserve in the event that they think they may be attacked, and then they want.
There's no easy answer. This is not a moment of, carpet bombing. You hear people say, let's burn Gaza to the ground. In the past, we've mowed the grass, which was their euphemism for taking out the heads of the leaders of Hamas. This is not a time for, brute force. This is a time for incredible strategic sophistication, coordinating with the United States and other allies with intelligence, not rushing in, because if they rush in, that's exactly what Hamas wants them to do. It's urban warfare. There's just no winning. They've been through that before. It's inevitable that Palestinian civilians are going to be killed. And today's images of Israeli babies, being beheaded and Israeli women raped and the brutality of Hamas is going to flip very quickly in world opinion. Yes, we recognize that Israel would be justified to seek a swift and overwhelming and decisive response. Shock and awe, yes, but no siege. Now, he didn't say that, but you kind of read it between the lines when he talked about a code of law at war and rule, a nation based on rules and warfare based on a code of conduct. So I think what's sort of being said between the lines is do not cut off water and food to 2 million Palestinian civilians in Gaza. In a word, this has always been about deterrence. Israel's defense strategy was sort of, don't you dare. And now that Hamas dared, Israel's got to reassert their deterrence. Otherwise, it's going to be a long and bloody conflict. Overall, though, we've seen the bigger the war, the bigger opportunity there is for peace in the upside down world of the Middle East. again, following the first Gulf War. There was the Madrid Conference, which paved the way for a broader Israeli-Arab peace. So there is an opportunity here, and a lot of it depends on, again, it's up to Israel, really. Throughout its 75-year history, everything that it has accomplished, whether it's politically, militarily, economically, diplomatically, has depended on one thing: a show of strength. Clearly, they failed on Saturday. So the question that everybody sitting in Washington, in Israel, across the Middle East, and around the world, they're wondering, is Israel still Israel?